So I'll start out congratulate Northwestern on the victory. They certainly played hard and played a better second half than we did, and that's really was the story of the game. I thought our guys came ready to go. We got off to a fast start, did a lot of good things in the first half. And then, the second half was a whole different story. So you got to play the full 60 minutes. And at the end of the game, really all the critical areas, run the football, third down conversions, and the turnover rate. Obviously, those things are going to be important deciding any football game. And, we did a good job of that in the first half, not so much in the second half. So, they finished the game and we weren't able to. So that's kind of where it's at right now. And got a short week, or not a short week, but an unusual week, a disrupted week coming up. So it's the first time for us, as every team faces. But anyway, it'll pose some unique challenges. And, we're going to have to be sure that we really handle that well, because we certainly have a lot of improvement to make, and that's got to be our focus. But we're going to have to handle the week on top of it. So I'll throw it out for questions.
If you have a question for Coach Ferentz, please raise your hand. We'll start with John Schaefer.
Kirk, from your perspective, what caused you guys to go stagnant in the second half?
Well, it's never easy to say what caused anything. But, an obvious thing is we had a couple picks. Our first 5 possessions. I'm looking down here. It's our first 5 possessions. 2 of them were picks. So, it's not a good thing. And, we just didn't run the ball effectively and didn't throw it effectively enough either.
Steve Batterson.
Second quarter defensively, Northwestern was able to move the ball fairly well on the ground. What were the issues that you saw at that point?
Yeah, I think 2 things in the first half. The quarterback runs really affected us, when he was back there and saw an opening. Ramsey did a really good job at taking those openings. That was hurtful, a couple of those. And then, in the second quarter especially, I just thought we started catching blocks, and they were blocking us. So, and their backs run hard. We knew that going in. So that was disappointing. Certainly that little, almost like there's a little bit of a lull there. And, they did a good job taking advantage of that.
Chad?
Yeah, Kirk, 51 passing attempts and 23 rushing attempts in a game you led 17-0. Is that a balance that you think, was a little bit off today?
Yeah, I think, if you look historically, if you look at those kind of numbers, it means, the outcome wasn't good. So, yeah, we didn't run the ball effectively enough today. Certainly we had a couple good runs, hit a couple on them, but, with consistency, not enough. So that's something we're going to have to get addressed, because we don't want to play that way. I'll go on record saying that. We don't want to play that way. Looking for a lot more balance in that.
Scott?
Struggled really after the first, okay, I don't know if I was unmuted there.
Go ahead.
He struggled after the first quarter, Spencer did. What do you think of his performance overall, and in what ways can he get better?
I thought our first half really wasn't bad, other than the 3 and out. We started with the 3 and out, but, we drove the ball in that quarter, or excuse me, the whole first half. And then, I think 2 things in the first half. We ended up with the ball inside the 5, ended up with a field goal instead of a touchdown. That certainly turned out to be a big thing. And then, Caleb made a great effort there at the end of the half to, give us a chance on that one. And that one kick is probably representative of our game today. Close but not close enough. But that was a good drive too. I mean, we drove the ball and drove it pretty successfully. So I think, it really was a contrast in the 2 halves. Throw a couple picks in there, and that makes a difference too. Tip balls, those kinds of things. That's never good. But the bottom line is we didn't have much consistency in that second half offensively.
Mike?
Statistics, I know they can be kind of warped, but in the last 5 Big Ten games you've had, you haven't scored a touchdown in the second half. And I realize you did win 3 of those, but does that say something?
Well, yeah, you just kind of said it. The most important stat is winning. So as long as we're winning, we'll live with that. But to that point, they outplayed us in the second half today. Clearly did, and again, a lot of that, if we turn the ball over a couple times, I'll drop that last one, but the 2 times prior to that's not a good thing. And, it was a team loss. We didn't really do anything well enough consistently today to expect to win in a Big Ten game. And that's 2 weeks in a row. So those are the things we're going to have to focus on. One thing we did pretty well, I thought Torrey really punted the ball well. He gave us a chance certainly to be successful. And our place kickers did a good job, but we have to do a better job there. We just have to be more consistent. That was a team thing in that second half, not just the offense.
Tom?
Kirk, Davion talked about Iowa football is about finishing football, about finishing games. How do you get that going? And also, Coy Cronk got taken out. Was that injury related or performance related?
No, he just didn't look quite comfortable enough. So we'll go back to work Monday. He's missed a lot of time, as I said in the past, and he's still working through some things. But Coy's a tremendous guy. He's going to be a good player for us. But I thought he was struggling a little bit. And then finishing plays, and it's like anything. It's a day-by-day process. And it's a matter of stacking things up and finding ways to get the job done. We did get a spark with Jack's interception. Thought that hopefully was going to get us going a little bit, but we weren't able to really capitalize on it. And just all the good things we did in the first half, we weren't able to do in the second half. So it's a matter of playing that full 60. And every situation is a little bit different, but it really gets back to just trying to practice a little bit better, meet a little bit better, and hopefully that carries over to the game field. There's no magic formula for it.
John?
Kirk, is it frustrating when you can't capitalize on those momentum swings that you create, especially when you don't have fans necessarily to feed off of energy-wise?
Yeah, that part we knew coming in, and we've practiced in Kinnick, so at least we've had practice that way. But it's going to be that way all season long, so you just have to play through that. But it is frustrating because, like Jack's play, it should be a spark play, give us a chance maybe to get something going. But that's part of the process too, and we're just not quite there yet. That's really evident the last 2 weeks. We just need to get over the hump a little bit, just like teams need to learn how to win. And we're probably in that situation right now too. We've lost 2 close games. So, what do you have to do to push it forward to get the job done? And, as you guys have all witnessed already in 2 weeks, it's a week-to-week thing. There's no way to predict what's going to happen next week based on this week. So, we need to focus on us, our performance, our preparation, and see if we can't do a better job next time we get an opportunity to play.
Okay, we'll take 3 more questions for Coach. We'll start with Scooby.
Coach, before the game started, we saw players on the sideline taking a knee. We've talked to you about this in the past before, and you've said if you were going to make a decision as a team, it would be one decision where everyone would come together. How did you guys kind of come to this decision over here with some guys kneeling, some guys standing with their hand on their shoulder?
Well, quite frankly, I'll give you the same answer I gave a week ago Tuesday. And what you referenced was about 4 years ago, 3 years ago. So basically, I think a lot of things have changed this past year, probably in our whole country. As it pertains to us, we've had, as of last Tuesday, three very direct conversations about the topic. And, the point that I came to is that, what the team decided, and basically, let me be very specific, our leadership group, not our team, but our leadership group, we had great conversation, thoughtful dialogue, and, shared a letter with a veteran who saw it one way. And then also our entire team was on a Zoom call with a 20-year SEAL who also had a couple, I think it was, I don't know how many, two administrations in the White House. And he had a very different opinion. So long story short, I think the conversation was great. And what we all decided was we're going to respect each other's opinions on the topic. And to me, that is doing things as a team. The dialogue was outstanding. And the key point was, everybody said what they felt, but everybody also agreed that we're going to have a respect for each other's opinions. And that's, really quite something, something our country's badly in need of right now. Just a little bit more listening and a little bit more civil conversation. So I couldn't be more proud of our leadership group, not only those meetings, but the other meetings we've had. They've been tremendous. And I think that's what you saw today. I think we're all on the same page there. And I don't know what else you could ask for as a coach that way.
Scott?
Yeah, the last couple of games, I guess, going back to the bowl game, you guys have used a lot of lateral movement, which seems to have helped, not only with the jet sweeps, but also just with the some of the helping your offense move the ball a little bit. I mean, there wasn't any today, very little motion. What was the reasoning just based on their defense, and that was what you felt was a good conclusion not to do that this week?
Yeah, that's really a big part of it, Scott. In the bowl game, we saw enough. We had time to look at a lot of film and had a lot of film. So that was something that became apparent they were struggling with during the season. We didn't know if they'd get it fixed by then. But, it gave us some help. Conversely, we didn't see any evidence where that might be something that really help us today. So we'll look at it tomorrow in retrospect and see if maybe that's something we need to do more of or could do more of against this particular team. But they've got a distinct personality, and the plays we called today, the plays we ran, are ones that we thought might have a chance to have success. But in the second half, we just didn't have enough there to be successful.
Last question, Tom.
Kirk, 2 games in, it would be perfectly natural for Spencer to maybe start pressing a little bit. Do you feel like that's happening? And how do you guard against that where maybe he's trying to do too much?
That's something I worry about with a lot of players. Anybody plays quarterback, that's certainly something. And then I worry about that with some of our veteran guys. So, the best thing anybody can do, offensively or defensively, special teams, is just do what they're supposed to do. And then if they do that with a little bit of extra, that's always good too. But certainly I think we could be careful. And the bottom line is, Spencer's a two-game quarterback right now, so he's a very young guy. This was not a fun experience, certainly. Wasn't a great experience for him in that second half, but he'll grow from this because he's so conscientious and he works well. And he'll be better for it. But boy, it's hard in the process. We all know that, and it's just it's part of the game sometimes. So he'll get back up on his feet. We'll go back to work tomorrow, and I'm confident he'll be a better player moving forward. But yeah, that's certainly something we always worry about.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Just a reminder, everybody, that player interviews this week are moving to Wednesday.